I felt some of the steps break under my weight, and I tumbled uncontrollably until I slammed into the ground. For a moment, I lay still, terrified to look at my own body for injuries. With effort, I managed to stand, swaying. Everything hurt. My head was pounding, and every part of my body felt like one big bruise, but at least nothing seemed broken. Thank God. Wait, stairs. I found stairs. Finally, something different from the damn hallway maze. The relief made me let out a hysterical laugh. I was so relieved by the change of scenery that it took me a moment to process the horror of realizing I destroyed my only way back. Now I was trapped in a dark, disgusting basement. The only light came from above, from the hallways, the windowless hallways. Another absurd detail I hadn't wanted to notice before. Where was the light coming from? At least my phone's flashlight still worked. I scanned the room with the beam, side to side. It was completely empty, except for a small hole in the farthest corner. I pointed the flashlight and saw it was a sloping tunnel. Could I crawl inside? The idea disgusted me. I was surprised my mind even considered it. But what other choice did I have? Where else could I go? Damn, damn, damn. I whispered shakily as I got on my knees and started descending. The tunnel was barely wide enough for me to crawl through. I felt the ceiling brushing against my back. The claustrophobia hit me immediately. What if it got narrower? Would I have to go backward? No. Panic overtook me before I could go farther. I started crawling back, trying to retreat against the slope. I kept going and going. By that point, I should have been back in the basement. I was sure I'd crawled farther back than I'd gone forward in the first place. Like a slap, I remembered the absurdity of this place and, desperate, crawled forward again as fast as I could. No, no, no. I can't get stuck in this damn tunnel. Please, don't let me get stuck here. I screamed, even though I knew no one could hear me. Surrounded by darkness, with only my phone's flashlight as salvation, I kept going. The tunnel seemed to slope downward more and more. I had no idea how far I'd gone or how much farther it would go. Eventually, my body gave out. Thirst, exhaustion, despair, they'd consumed me. I couldn't move. I collapsed and sobbed. Lying in the tunnel, I was sure I'd never escape. I must have fallen asleep. I don't know how, but when I woke up, my phone's battery was about to die. Oh, great. So the battery isn't frozen, just the damn time. Fantastic, I growled, tempted to throw the phone in frustration. I looked at the screen. 4:20. With nothing better to do, I continued my descent, knowing the worst was yet to come. The flashlight would die, and then I'd be in complete darkness until I died. Black. Total darkness. The terror I felt when the light disappeared is something I can't describe with words. I just kept going. I had to. It was like the fear was growing behind me, stepping on my heels, stalking me. Was there a limit to fear? A point where the brain just gave in to hopelessness and reached some kind of calm? My thoughts felt like dissociated voices in the silence. But I hadn't reached that point of resignation yet. The fear kept devouring me. And then, the darkness and silence broke. Laughter? I could hear children laughing, and ahead, a light. I never moved so fast in my life. I crawled with the speed of a professional sprinter, straight toward the sound, toward the light. But the farther I went, the more it faded. It was like I was moving away from it. How was that possible? Screw you. I screamed at this place that seemed to torment me in the worst possible way at every opportunity. In my paranoid mind, this place was alive. This place was mocking my pathetic attempts to survive. I froze when the light and laughter faded so much I could barely hear them. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't go back to the silence. I couldn't take it. But then it started growing and growing, somehow becoming more sinister as the volume increased. Louder, louder, louder. The laughter enveloped me, became so deafening I had to cover my ears, which were already ringing. The light intensified, so bright I could no longer see the tunnel. I couldn't see anything, blinded by that burning light. I closed my eyes and screamed with all my might, but my screams were completely drowned out by the thunderous sound of the ceaseless laughter. When I opened my eyes again, I was kneeling in a classroom. It was old and empty, but it didn't look decayed or abandoned like the rest of this place. A window. A window. I ran toward it full speed. Looking down, I saw children playing and laughing. I pounded on the window with my fists, screamed desperately at the children below. I couldn't be more than 2 stories up. They had to hear me. Help! Please help me! I begged. Over and over, I screamed and pleaded, but none of the children turned to look at me. Watching them more closely, I noticed something that chilled me to the bone. The children were playing Ring Around the Rosie, jumping rope, chasing each other, throwing a ball, over and over. I heard them sing, "Ashes, ashes, we all fall down." I watched them fall, get up, and repeat the song again. I saw the girl with the jump rope, not missing a single step, repeating the same motion over and over. The other children played tag in a loop, running in the same circles again and again. I saw a boy throw a ball, and another hit it, but like a glitch in a video game, they reset, throw, hit, throw, hit. "No," I whispered, as if I could still be surprised by the impossible at this point. But I couldn't take it anymore. The fleeting sense of hope vanished in an instant, and something inside me just broke. I grabbed a chair and threw it at the window with all my strength. Then another, and another. Nothing. I tried to break it with all my energy, but it might as well have been made of steel. Rage consumed me like never before. I screamed at the building. I screamed at myself. I screamed at Adam. I screamed at nothing. I returned to the window, trying to allow myself one last moment of sunlight. But when I looked down, I was horrified. The children had stopped playing. They were completely still, stiff as wood, all with their backs to me. I closed my eyes, as if I could make them disappear with my will. But when I opened them again, they were gone. The playground where they'd been was now a cracked, weed-covered ruin, the cement broken with more determination than I had. I was never getting out of here. There were no cracks to escape through. I left the classroom in disbelief, still processing the impossible things I'd witnessed. Why couldn't I break the window? Why were the children glitching, like some damn system error? And why the hell were they dressed like they were from the 1920s? The fact that I descended, crawling, and ended up on a second floor was the least strange part at all. But for some reason, it was the only thing my mind could focus on. The rest was too much to even try to comprehend. I walked through another maze of hallways for who knows how long. Just waiting. Waiting for nothing. Waiting for something. This building wasn't done with me yet. I could feel it. It was still tormenting me. Still. Before I could finish the thought, I heard a loud crack as the floor disappeared beneath my feet.